Literacy Analysis PowerPoint by Robert Brown, Literacy Heritage 2201. Alright, so first we're going to talk about the author of the text that we'll be analyzing today, which is A Wall of Fire Rising. It was a finalist in the National Book Award, and the author of it, Edwidge Danicat, was born in Port-au-Prince, Haiti in 1969. She immigrated to the United States when she was 12 years old, and she's also the author of 3 plays and 7 novels. So, before we get into analyzing the text and just trying to break it down and relating that to today's world, first we're going to talk about the 3 main characters of it. So we have Guy, who is the husband of Lily and a father of little Guy. Lily, who is the wife of Guy and the mother of little Guy, and little Guy, who is the son of Lily and Guy. And so the main character that we're analyzing is Guy, who's really more and the characters of him that really like puts him together as a whole is really the stress, poverty, and freedom that he's suffering through while trying to provide support for his family and also just trying to maintain a life for himself. So the first big point that we're going to talk about is really the stress that Guy's like having. He's more worried about his family because he's scared that like once he's gone, or like he's never going to be able to like provide that support for his family, and that his family's just going to like continue to like struggle, make a way for a living, and also his son. He really wants to really ensure that his family is good after he's gone, because he doesn't want his son going through the same stress that Guy had to go through. It was just like finding jobs, hopping from job to job, only getting work every few months or so, and just like not really having a stabilized job. And what Guy was really stressing about was just like it was. He said that it was almost 6 months since the last time Guy had gotten work there. Now he's talking about the job that he's currently having. So the job that he's having, it's they have a list of like wanting to get like permanent people who want to get permanent hiring, and his name is still on that list, which means that his job isn't really like a permanent. It's just like he's just doing that every now and then. And I know like this point of the text right here, just really the stress that we can really just try to relate that to like today's world, and just like how some families is just like all relying on that one person to be like the breadwinner in the family and just like bringing home the money, so that like the others in the family won't have to stress about that, which is what Guy is doing. I know that he's like the only person in the he's one of the only people in the family that's working right now. His wife isn't working because she's like taking care of the son and things like that. And so, just like the second one is just being more of poverty. So, Guy, Guy is wanting to like add little Guy to the job listing, because he wants the little Guy to be able to have like a permanent job once he's gone. And like how the list goes is, if you're like at the top of the list, then you have a better chance of getting a job than the people that's like at the bottom of the list. So, but Lily refuses, because he said for a young boy to be on any list, that might influence his destiny. So Lily wants little Guy to be more than just like working at that mill. And I guess that really hurt Guy a lot, because that's all Guy can really do right now. It's just like work at the place that he's working at to provide support for his family. So, but as like when Lily said that made Guy feel some type of way. And we as like the readers and like the people who's analyzing this should like really grasp what she said really hard, because when you say that, and when you in today's world, if you were to say that to somebody, that would like kind of hurt them a lot, because this was just like, well, like this is all I can do for right now to provide support for my family. It's just like do this. So it's like it'll be nice if like somebody else in the family that also can really like help out and just like continue on the work that Guy did. And Guy's just using his job to support his family, and like he doesn't want his son to like be be stressed about like finding jobs and getting like being able to like not find a job, which is why Job wanted to put little guy on the list, just so that he'll be able to have some type of stable job when he once he grow older. All right, so now the third lesson is really just like more about freedom. Now this is real. This is when it really gets like kind of hard because when you can't provide support for your family, people tend to like take freedom as like, okay, well, if I'm not able to provide support anymore, then like the only way I can be able to support myself is with freedom, which is what the mindset guy had in this text. So he was really obsessed with hot air balloons in this text because he found like that was his way out of just like all the struggles and stress that he was having, was just like being fantasized about hot air balloons. His wife didn't really know why she was obsessed with it, but God knew to himself that he was obsessed with it. And he saw a hot air balloon at his job, and he told Lily, he was like, "Oh, I can wager you, I can make this thing fly." The guy said, and page 151 of the text. And so the hot air balloon symbolizes freedom because it's flying in the air, it's flowing freely, it's not being dragged down by somebody else. It's just the hot air balloon is really just freedom, and that's what something that God's wanting to have, because if he can't provide support for his family, put little guy on the list so that he's able to have a stabilized job for his family, and he's more worried about Lily that's like wanting little guy to do something than, you know, the hot air balloon of having freedom as it is. And so he was able to get the hot air balloon up into the crowd, up into the air towards the end of the text. And as they saw him flying in the air of the text, within the author said within seconds, God was hurtling towards the crowd, which means God jumped out the hot air balloon and fell to the ground. He committed suicide. So in the end, God, he was able to find his freedom, but in the most like the worst way possible, which was suicide. And as we like read through this text, it's imperative that we know that like as a family we have to like support each other and just like provide like all the support that we can to like make sure that like the whole family sticks together as one and be able and have support for each other, because if not, then things like this will like drive people to like do those types of things. And so in the conclusion, we're just wanting to like show that the whole text was really just wanting us to show that like having and supporting your family is really important, especially in today's world, because inflation goes high. It be high one day, low the other day. Prices is always increasing and decreasing. Jobs is always either being created or destroyed, and so we have to understand that like somebody else always have to like, it shouldn't be always be one person supporting the family. It should be like multiple people supporting the family, so that like if one person loses their job, the other people still have a job to like continue to like support them and also support the family. And secondly, just like suicidal thoughts being real, and like when you're not able to like do what you can to like provide support for your family, that's an actual thing. People is always like having suicidal thoughts when they're not able to like get things done, because they know that like if they don't do it, then they feel like they're going to feel the guilt of like not being able to like support the family and always just like being there for them. And really, just thirdly, it's just like having freedom will lead you to making life-threatening decisions. It really can. A lot of people don't know that, but like people always just like, I just want to be free from this, free from that. Okay, once you have that freedom, like what's next? You know, like are you going to like use your freedom now to like make the world better, or are you going to use your freedom to make the world worse? So like that's really a big thing that like with having freedom is just like you have a decision to make. Like are you going to like use it to do it good, or you're going to use it to do it bad? And that's what God had of just like, okay, he's afraid that like once he gets freedom, he's gonna end up going through the same thing again of just like not having a job, or like just not being able to support himself, and just like not just you're free, but you're not free from poverty, and that's just like really the big thing in this text is you can have freedom, but does that mean you're going to be like free from the poverty that you're going through? Are you going to be free from all the stress that you're going through? Maybe the stress, but you're still going to be in poverty. And that concludes the text.